Welcome to FOB, ma'am. So my
Thank
first
you.
question to you is, with the pandemic ruling out the accessibility completely, how did you cope up with the schooling, like the functioning at the
Um,
school?
I must tell you, the question is generally how do you run the school when you are like not accessible, but all the time accessible. So, in a very lighter way, I always tell we don't run, we sprint actually. From Google Meets to MS Teams, then we zoom in and zoom out to just hang out with our team members. I mean, it's like so much happening that you really feel, are we going to stop anywhere now? you know we are more than accessible to all the stakeholders. It's good, and also something to be controlled and taken care of, but there's no way any hindrance or anything which is stopping us to reach out to all our students, teachers, parents, or anyone for that matter. It's business as usual in the background. It's just the mode which has changed, so it's more demanding. So you have to be always ready with your solutions, because problems are new, so solutions have to be new. So we are actually coping very well. There is a lot of nervousness, anxiety, but we ensure that we don't show it. So far, we are able to manage it. Yeah.
Right. So, what are the common problems you had to address, from the parents and the student side, regarding e-learning?
Parent side, basically they want us to be online for maximum time, because there are two reasons why they want it. One, they want the children to be engaged, because at home children don't have much to do. And there is also a small little segment of parents, those who feel they have paid the fees, then why online education is only for 2 hours, right? So that is another part of it. We can't help with the fee equation or proportionate to the 2 hours, but we definitely can help parents to take care of how to engage the children. So that's why this nice blend and combination of synchronous and asynchronous mode of learning, which we have adopted and trained ourselves and our teachers to. And we are reaching out to parents to tell them that yes, we are taking care of it, don't worry, we'll ensure that the concepts are taken care of, because they're one of the worries is of assessments. How are you going to assess the children, right? So you're not able to cover the syllabus, time is very less, policy is changing, how will you do, what will you do, and all that. So they're anxious. They're not doubting the schools, but they're anxious because everything is so new, as much as for the teachers, for the parents also. At least from this side, I can say we have some knowledge what is CBSE doing or whatever every board is demanding, and what is that we can do. But as a parent, you don't know how equipped the school is. So that anxiety is genuine, and can be granted. But all we have to do is to be very patient with the questions, understanding, and just listen, because
Right.
sometimes that helps. And from student side, children are also like, they're so used to that hustle and bustle, that energy of the class, this energy which they have, different people around, meeting their friends more than anything else, which is not happening. So where is that energy going to go? They have so much now reserved in themselves. So sometimes I feel it's very unfair for the children and the youth at this time, because there's so much, they wanted to so much, I mean, to do so much, but they are held back. So making them sit in front of this screen is a challenge for teachers. Some mischiefs happen, expected, but the active students are not a concern, frankly speaking. Then
Right.
we know that they are going to do something, and we have to take care of. The
Right.
passive learner on the other side is something which we're worried about.
Right.
So if the child is not gaining anything, not ready to switch on even the screen, then how to take care of that? I think that is the biggest challenge.
Right.
Yeah.
So from this only, I would like to ask you. So, these are the challenges faced by the students. Because of the screen learning, like the digital learning, their physical
Mhm.
activity or their physical energy is getting like subdued. So, what are the
Right.
steps you people are taking to, take care of their mental energy as well as their physical activity?
I can talk about my school, the Orchid school, with all my pride and the efforts we have taken in consideration, that we have understood that anyways the CBSE curriculum and textbooks will be taken care of. We
Right.
know, we are equipped, and teachers know about it. And children also have already, probably they have done almost everything because they're at home online learning from different tools and things available to them. So then what we have done, we have introduced modular courses for them, career counseling skill sessions for them, so they are engaged. There is AI course, there is a financial literacy course, there is Excel, advanced Excel course, I mean, where they are challenging themselves. Another thing which we said, we realized that within 2.5 hours we won't be able to put everything, music, dance, drama and everything, but that has to be there. So some of the evening sessions, and thanks to our scholastic teachers, that they could arrange and give us time accordingly, so they are able to have classes. I mean, I'm right now also, some classes are going on 5 o'clock and all, because we have to accommodate the realities of the children. They're also going for online classes, so they are having lovely classes for arts, even class 11 and 12. Children love to join those classes. So all our teachers are actually putting in a lot of effort to see that whatever slot they are ready to learn, we will just go and take care of this.
Right. So with
Yeah.
all these innovations that you've got for students, all the educators coming together and making it easier for the students to learn new courses. So did you have to train the teachers in your organization? Like, it must be hectic for them as well because they also have to manage work from home. So did you have to have any workshop or trainings for them as well?
So I still remember in the month of March when this reality became, something which we could not have avoided in anyways. The first thing was, let's go online and train ourselves. And again, digital world is so forthcoming in that manner. I mean, I never realized that you ask for a training session and it's there. All you have to do is to ask for it. In best of my efforts I have made, but somehow I was never able to get into you know head on into the ICT and using it as a tool. But now I feel beyond this, I mean, we can't even think anything. And thankfully this reaches out to every teacher, every school and every person who needs to be trained, and we got nice trainers for our teachers, our in-house training team, and all the teachers who were computer savvy. They helped the peers and to understand the tools. There were number of trainings. I mean, it was like first week was all about training, then after every 10 days, then 15 days, and now once in a while when there is a new element which is being added. So that was one part of training, that is technical, to make them feel comfortable and all. The another training which went along with was the mental health, to have the sessions where they speak about their anxieties, that I speak sessions, with the director of the school. So then this was like, say what you want to say, what are you going through, let's train ourselves for this pandemic and beyond pandemic and this new normal and all that. Because then at that point these were all new words, but now we are using it like, very usual vocabulary. But we trained ourselves, our team, by reaching out to them as frequently as we could, training ourselves to understand that there can be a failure while we are taking a class online. We can't be always saying, oh, we've been trained and now we know everything about it. There was a point we all felt, do we really need to train ourselves? I think we are ready to go. But then came a reality, oh, something went wrong and we need to do something to learn about this. So we learned through, trial and error, helping peers, observing peers and being there. And I think it was training at every level, physical, mental, as a team, as a subject teacher or as a class teacher itself. I mean, and reaching out to the children, understanding their point of view, that was also training. We had many, many sessions. Thankfully, we have those people, resource persons who could come and train us in understanding the anxieties on the other side also.
Mhm.
So I think it is not just the technical training, a
Right.
lot to do with the mental makeup. That
Yeah,
training was also required. Yeah.
definitely. So, like you mentioned about the parents' concern about the fee hike. So, can you like share your thoughts about the school fee hike issue?
See, what helped us to sail through this particular concern was being transparent and telling them this is something we can do and this is something we won't be able to do. Like, you're all facing the issue of salaries and all. Our teachers are also part of the same society. And when you're open, transparent, and you're ready to share all what you have in your accounts and everything, we shared, this is what we have received as fees, and this is what we can give and we have to take care of. And we had first EPTA meeting. We had we actually made them understand that yes, we want to follow all GRs. There is something beyond GRs, that is the humanitarian ground. We need to be fair to our teachers who are putting in more than 24/7 time to ensure that the children on the other side are learning. And when the entire system is so ready to do justice with whatever the situation has put us through, I think it's not fair to demand more than what we can actually, roll back. So we rolled back whatever the hike was. We offered installments. We offered to, not have any late fees or something, which was a mandatory norm later on also. But we complied by all what is required by the government, and as human and partners in the school, like with the parents, understanding their concerns and making them understand our concerns. Touchwood, like they've been pretty understanding that way. Exceptions are always there, but then we are there to listen to their side of stories. And then, if we are able to give them logical answers and we are ready to wait till the time they're ready to pay, I think it's not a big issue if that understanding is there.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So
Yeah.
now there has been a introduction of the new education policy 2020. So I wanted to know your perspective, like the positive and the negatives of this policy.
Mhm. Um, First of all, I want to congratulate, after 34 years, we have a policy which speaks not only about education system in terms of students as the center point, but as teachers, those who are also the stakeholders. And it's a good blend of CE, CCE, and the present current education system. And the only thing which I feel will be a struggle, because we have introduced right now, it's already August, and we are expecting it to be working by 2023 without even training the teachers for what is going to be there. We have only one presentation and that booklet, but where is the training plan for that? That I think is always a challenge. Even when the CCE was introduced, we didn't have any training. When it was rolled back, we didn't have any training. Now again, there is a policy without even training the stakeholders. I
Right.
think there should always be like, today it is introduced, next 6 7 months or a year only for training the people, and then making it a mandate. But if it is expected from 2021 is going to be the way it is, then it's going to pose many problems, because then everybody interprets it the way they want to.
Right.
I sitting here will say, oh, Sanskrit has to be compulsory, but the other side person will say, no, my regional languages has to be because there's always that ambiguity about the way the policies are written and how these are understood. So it can be my individual preference how I want to read it. So I think more sessions on making it understand, not from a person sitting in this location, but persons, those who have made it. So I think one presentation is not enough. They need to reach out to all states, all schools, whichever way possible, and understand that right from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and Kutch to Kohima, this policy is understood the same level and same way. That is the biggest challenge, I feel. Otherwise, I feel it's a good thing the way it is focusing on skills, experiential learning, all that is required for children to be the global citizens and future ready citizens. I think it has all that. It's a perfect blend of art, integration, real life connect, and you name the thing, it's there. ICT is there. It has like everything in it. But the fear is that how much will it really be reaching out to? And school like ours can have everything. We have most of the things already, frankly speaking. But I'm now worried about the school which is in the remote area. Will they not be again kind of feeling, oh, left out? Because these schools already have, till the time they will reach a level where they need to, there will already be a gap. Has the government catered to reach out to those schools to give them that kind of teacher, that kind of equipment, that kind of facility? I think that's the biggest concern.
So what steps more do you think the government can take, for making digital learning accessible to everyone in the country?
I think I always have realized that, especially private schools, freedom is given, money is there, kids can afford, parents love to give all the gadgets. But when it comes to pan India, and as I just said, remote areas, because being an army wife, I have been to a place like Teju, where people didn't even have a simple whiteboard or marker pen to write on. So government has to think about, if they're talking about digitization in whatever way possible, they have to give not the grant but the gadgets to the people. They should personally train, appoint a set of team, or in every state there should be the old retired teachers or principals. They should be trained to reach out to those areas, because they still want to work, but the age becomes the barrier sometimes. I
Right.
have seen people at 78, 80 are motivated enough, but then because age is done and over, so you can't be part of the school. So we can recruit all of them back into system, train them and tell them, whatever allowances or minimum they are ready to take and work for the cause. It's a very good cause. So they can be told to just go, at least make the difference and impact the society in and around their area. And not giving funds, giving gadget
Right.
to every child reaching it. I mean, there are many policies for CSR. Now, they should be compulsory that every CSR should have some element only about donating technology to a school. So, one school, one company, one school, or one area, one company. I don't know. We have many companies around which can actually sponsor the entire education system of a district. So if that kind of a plan can be made at a macro level by the central government, that will be the best thing. And of course, individual level, teachers can, and whatever. I know in my home only there are some gadgets which are just lying like that. So if there is any drive which can take it from me and give it to the person, or we at a school level have some NGO connected to us and say, we'll take the gadgets, we'll fix them up and then give it to the people, those who need it.
Right.
So recycling will take place.
Thank you so much,
Ah,
Namrata ma'am. It was lovely talking to you, and I hope
thank you.
your thoughts and insights they help all my fellow students and teachers and parents to get some perspective how to go through the pandemic. So
Thank you. Lovely talking to you, Trishla. I really love the way you have organized this session, and so your questions have made me also to think.